In July of 1775, Elizabeth's husband, Poole Stillwagon Sr., joined the Patriot Army. During his absence, British troops plundered their home, and Elizabeth was mistreated. She applied to General Furman for relief, who gave her a home with Captain Hudley. Later, just before the Battle of Trenton, a company of Tories commanded by Captain David Smith approached the Stillwagon home again. Elizabeth got word that the troops were fast approaching. She hurriedly gathered her 2 small children and fled to a field not far from the house. They hid there and watched in anguish as the Tories gathered the family's belongings and burned the home to the ground. Once more, Elizabeth sought refuge in her husband's camp. The commanding officer treated her kindly, allowing her to stay. Elizabeth made herself useful to the men. She washed their clothes and cooked for them, and when the sick and wounded men were brought near, she nursed them as best she could. At the Battle of Monmouth, Elizabeth bravely carried ammunition for the artillery. By some, Elizabeth Poole Stillwagon was regarded as Molly Pitcher of historical fame. In 1802, the Stillwagon family were living in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. By chance of fortune, the man responsible for plundering their home many years before, David Smith, also moved to Connellsville. It's said, on good authority, that some of the plunder Smith took from the Stillwagons was found in his house in an old chest. Uniontown, Pennsylvania, February 2nd, 1854. Burned to death. We regret to learn that on Monday of last week, Mrs. Elizabeth Stillwagon of Connellsville came to her death in the following horrible manner. Her grandson had left the house for a few hours when, on opening the door on his return, the stench and smoke was so great that he could not enter. The alarm was immediately given, the windows were thrown open, and water was thrown in to quench the fire. On entering, the old lady was found burned to a crisp. It is thought her clothes took fire whilst lighting her pipe. She was 115 years old and was quite active for one of her age. She had 2 sons born before the Revolutionary War, in which her husband was a soldier and at one time a prisoner.